Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Rajnikant and today's video will gonna discuss Singleton design pattern with eager initialization. Okay, so let's first understand what is Singleton design pattern. Okay, so at any point of time you want to create only one object of a class. Okay, in the JVM, inside the JVM is known as Singleton. Okay, so it will not allow you to create multiple objects at any cost. Only one object will be there for that particular class. Okay, then we should go for Singleton design pattern. Using Singleton design pattern we can make that class in such a way that it will create only one object. Okay, hope you got a crystal clear idea what is Singleton design pattern. Now let's see what is eager initialization. So eager initialization means it will create the object. We will create the object even if no one is using. The object is created and it's ready. Whenever someone will use, they can take and use. Even if no one is using, it's already ready. Okay, that is known as eager initialization, early initialization. Okay, so when should we go for eager initialization? So for example, if your object is less heavy, I mean there will be no configuration and nothing is there, it's a simple object, then even if no one is using you can create that object and being ready. But if it's a heavy object, it's better to go for lazy initialization. Okay, so let's see in coding part, so how we can create a singleton design pattern with eager initialization. Okay, so already I have uploaded a video for lazy initialization. I will give that link in the description section. You can go through that and you can have a better idea. Okay, so I am taking a class date util to make that class as a singleton with eager initialization. So all the utility classes we can take as a singleton where there will be no variables will be there. Okay, there will be no states will be there. Then we can take those classes as a singleton. Okay, so in eager initialization what we can do, public, sorry not public, we'll take private static date util is equal to new date util. Okay, so here we are creating the object as this is the static variable. So while class loading it will execute or it will get the value. Okay, so while class loading itself it will create the object. Okay, then how we can access this, we'll take instance. So how we'll access this object, so we can have a public static method, so where we'll return this instance. Okay, so let's create a constructor which will make as a private so that no one can create this object outside of that class. Only this class can create object, but no other class can create this object by calling constructor. So we are taking the constructor as a private constructor. Okay, private. Now what we'll do, we will public, then static, then date util is the return type, and get instance. Here we go, and inside that one what we can do, we can return this instance. Okay, why it's crying? Field instance maybe final. Okay, we can, if you want we can make as a final as well, no worries. Okay, so what we have done first, we have taken a public static variable and we have created the object there itself, so that whenever the class will be loaded, during class loading itself, this object will be created. Okay, and we should make a constructor as a private. We should take a constructor as a private so that no one can create this object outside of the class. Okay, so we have already created this object even if no one is using. So how someone will access this object, because we are taking this private, right? So that no one can access this variable. So how we can take this object outside of that class, or how we can access this object outside of that class? Simply we can take a method as a public and static, so that without object creation we can call this method. Okay, so in that method we are returning this variable or this object we are returning from here. Okay, for example, we have called this get instance method, just it will return instance because it's already created. No, while class loading itself, while this get util class is loaded, that time itself it's created this object. Okay, so that's why it is known as eager loading, or eager initialization. My bad, not eager loading, eager initialization. Okay, while class loading itself, it will create the object. That's why it is known as eager initialization. Okay, hope you got a crystal clear idea. Now let's see another way. So by static block. Okay, so static block also will be executed during class loading. So the same thing, let me show you how we can modify. So let's take a public, not public, it's a static block, right? So two things will be there, static block will be there and non-static block will be there. So static block will be executed during class loading, and non-static block will be executed while you will create the object, or by constructor, while you will create a object by calling constructor. So that many times it will call the non-static block. So you are creating 3 times objects means, so 3 times it will call the non-static block. But in static block it will executed only once during class loading. Okay, so let's modify this one and we'll see. Let me remove this one, and here what I can do, instance is equal to, not double equal to, it should be is equal to this one. Okay, so the simple step, nothing. So here I have declared a variable, and here I am not creating the object, and I am taking a static block. Inside the static block I am creating this object. Okay, so these things will executed during class loading. Okay, and here I am returning that one. Clear? Hope you got a crystal clear idea about eager initialization and how we can do in these 2 ways, in static block, and another is directly with static variable, right? This is also very important interview question, whether you are a fresher or experienced person. Okay, so please provide your feedback in that comment section, and I will appreciate your comments in there. Okay, so thank you for watching guys, have a nice day.